Hey everyone, welcome back. This is day 34 of Reaching 1800, and today I played four games in a row. I lost one, this is it. I lost here, my opponent played like a 90% accuracy and I'm 84.1. And then I played three games after it and I won all three. Now my rating was, 1700, and after the three wins, I went to 1724. Unfortunately, I was not recording these games, I just played them. I was recording them, but for a technical problem, I lost all the recordings. Now this is my first game after the loss. I was playing against a 1702. He was from India, and he did a really bad mistake. Now, if we want to go and see from the beginning, I went for d4. My opponent went with knight f6, c4. He went for e6, preparing this move, and I went to knight f3. He went for it, then I went for knight c3. I'm not afraid of him taking because we can just go e3 or e4, and we take the pawn back. So he went for this pin, and most of the time we can also go for the pin ourselves. So I went for this pin as well. He went for c5, which is a good move. Now here you can take both ways, but the most accurate one is to go c takes d5. I went for that. He takes back. And I was supposed to take here, but what I chose to do was to play e3, because if he takes I can just take back. I'm gonna want to put the bishop there, castle, everything's fine. He attacked my bishop. I did not like the idea of taking and helping him out, getting his queen, so I just went back. He attacked me one more time, and then I went back. Then he went here with the knight. So this is a really good move. First of all, it attacks the bishop and force a doubling of my pawns, but also adding pressure here because knight takes, pawn takes, bishop takes. It's going to be with check, and I lose my rook. So I went queen c2, and my opponent found the great move, bishop f5. Bishop f5 is really good because he is threatening to win the bishop. This is number one, and also opening attack on me, and I cannot take because it's protected by the knight. So I decided to go bishop d3, and I was calculating two moves here. If he takes, I can just take his knight, and if he takes me, I can just take. And I was calculating as well this, c4, and I have to take, and if bishop takes, I can just move back. Because if he wants to take me, I don't have to take with my pawn, I just take back with the queen. And if he takes my knight, I can just take back with the pawn. Everything's fine. He went for that move exactly. Takes, and I went back to queen d1 because I was afraid of getting double pawns. He did not take, and he added more pressure here. Now, I've seen it in multiple games that I play that when you are going to lose the pawn this way, you have to castle. So I castled, he take my knight, I take back, he takes my pawn, and I went for knight e5. The idea of knight e5 is to go queen h5 and adding pressure on this pawn. This was my idea. But my opponent castled. And you can see, look at that. It's now +3. Why? Because your queen and your king is not really safe after this. I went for queen h5, attacking this pawn at the same time, and he decided to defend that pawn with the king. So I took that pawn on f7. Now my threat is really clear. I can go here, I can take you like this and this, but my opponent, he thought that he was winning the game. He thought that this is a great skewer, that he was going to win a fork, he's going to win a piece from it. But he did not calculate that I can take here with a check, and the only square for your king is going here, and then I'm going to give you the other check, and now your king is dead, and that's going to be made. And now my opponent resigned after that. Now this is the first game that I played. The second game that I played was against someone from Bangladesh, against a 1685. He was 1690, but then he just played a couple of games later and he lost them. This game was very long. It was like 69 moves. Imagine that, 69. He went with e4. I went with my amazing, beautiful Caro-Kann. He takes with the knight. Now, in this position, you can go for the bishop here, which is really common, or knight f6. Accepting that, and that's called the torture cower. I did not want to go for that line because I did not study it that much. He goes here, then we go back with the bishop. Then we just develop all our pieces, and just developing moves. He decided to take and try to go for this pin. I'm not really afraid of this pin because I can just go here and add more pressure on this side. He decided to take. Now my best move was to take with the pawn, but I did not see that. I didn't want to get this kind of position. He went here with the queen for absolutely no reason. I castled, and he started the attack with a4, which is really good for my opponent. I went here, takes, and he started pushing. I'm seeing that my king is going to be butchered right now, so I decided that I want to, escape. My mistake in this game that I was supposed to castle kingside, but I really like the idea of my rook being here, so then I went queenside, and that was a blunder. It's not a blunder, it's a really big mistake. So he pushed, I just he gave me a check, I moved away. He started attacking my rook, and I just wanted, you know what, come and let's just trade queens. He did, and now he went for knight g5, which is a blunder. Why? Because we can go bishop f4, give me your rook or give me your knight. I went for it, and my opponent had a move to escape from this position. Can you find it? Well, if you said rook c5, then you are completely right. You are, running away from the bishop threat while also defending the knight. But he decided to go back with the knight, so I decided to take, knight takes, then take the rook, and that's it. Now we went for this kind of endgame, and here I did a blunder. I was thinking that, ooh, I pinned your knight to the rook. Now you cannot move your knight. But I did not see that he can do it with a check. So I take with a pawn, he takes my rook, and now I wanted to trade because if he takes me, then pawn takes, then king here, then king here, then king here. I think there was like some kind of ways to get it in a draw. But he decided not to, and started giving me checks. He went for here, I decided to take. I gave him a check, and I just won that pawn. He gave me this check, trying to go here, taking this pawn. I take. I give him another check. And it was just like a shuffling of the pawns, shuffling, all of those. Then he was trying to get to my pawn. He's attacking my pawn right now. I decided to give him a check, then defend my pawn by going here with a check as well. And now I went g3. He started giving me checks, but the mistake that my opponent did, allowing my king to go there. That was my opponent's mistake. He kept giving me checks until I'm completely safe, and then I started pushing my pawn, and I got a queen, so he, sacrificed. Then I figured out a way just to get the queen. With 24 seconds on the clock, 24 seconds, I was shaking because I thought that I might not make it on time, but I went there, and we finished the game with 21 seconds on the clock. We won this game, and now we're 17-16 in this game. And the last game that I played was against someone from Kazakhstan, a 1707 player. And this game was really, really long as well. It is 76 moves. 76, imagine that. He went for d4, I went for the Slav defense, then kind of transports into the Karl Khan defense, the same kind of things. Here I was supposed to take, but I just liked my, I just love to be annoying to my opponents. This is why. Now this is all, developing pieces naturally. Now here, the reason I can take this pawn, it's not really defended because you lose your queen. So after I took, he went here. If I move the bishop back, I lose my knight. So I have a chance, either take this bishop or take this knight. I decided to take the knight, but the best move was to take the bishop, threatening to win the rook. But I just decided to do it this way. And now we shuffle pieces. Now here, the idea of this move is maybe I went bishop d6, then he can take me here, take my bishop, and when I take back, he can just take this pawn. I cannot take it because I'm pinned. But I decided to go here to stop this pin, and then I take back, take toward the center. It's the best move. Then we castle, we're completely safe here. And then we just shuffled pieces. And then I went here. My idea of going queen c7 is to attack the rook while also adding pressure on this pawn, because I wanted to go rook c8 and adding more pressure and win this pawn. He went here, he's trying to push his pawns and maybe some kind of sacrifice to get in. That was his idea. I went here, doesn't have any kind of way to defend the pawn, so he decided to push it. I take, pawn takes, then queen takes. He went here with the bishop. If I moved away, I can lose this pawn, which allows his pawn to come forward, which is really risky. I decided to go back, defend that pawn, and everything's fine. He pushed his pawn, trying to go here, to do some trouble, I decided to go rook c3. I'm pinning your bishop to the queen. You cannot move your bishop, and he doesn't have any kind of like check to take my rook. He doesn't have it. So this is why I was really great in this position. My idea now is to go queen d4. Queen d4, you cannot move your bishop, so I'm gonna win it. But he went here trying to defend himself. I take. I went here. I thought, you know what? I'm better in this end game for some reason. This is what I thought during the game. And he did not take me. He takes the pawn. I take his queen. He takes back with the rook. I take the pawn. He takes my rook. He takes everything. And now I went here. Knight c4. The idea of knight c4, the rook is trapped, almost trapped. So he went for this blunder. It's a mistake, really big mistake. I went now g6. Your rook is completely stuck. I go here and I win your rook. That's it. I went here. He went for a great move, which is f4, defending himself. I went here, e5. I thought for some reason that I can take, but actually I cannot, because then rook takes pawn and his rook gets away. So he went here with the king. I moved my pawn. He went here with the king. I gave him a check, and now my opponent did a blunder. King d3. Now my idea is to go knight f3. Your rook is 100% trapped. Give me your rook. You cannot do anything. So he decided to sacrifice his rook. I took with the knight, and I thought he was going to take like this, but he didn't. He just took my pawn. I take that pawn, and I'm ready to get there, get this pawn, and push my pawn and get a queen. And I decided to give checks, and he remained like trying to get to my knight. And here I decided, you know what? Take my knight. You don't have time. I'm gonna get my queen first. So he decided to take. He take, and then he started pushing his pawn. Now this is a complete draw. It's a draw, but only if he did one move, which is to go here with the king. But he blundered, and now it's between a draw and stuff. Now my idea was, if I can manage to get my queen here, then try to get in with the king, I'm capable of taking this pawn and then finishing the game. And this is exactly what I did. I went queen e8, and then just started to push my king, push my king, push my king, and then I take. He went here, and I only have 11 seconds on the clock. So I was really worried to lose on time. Then I was trying to trap his king, and that's mate. And this is it. This is how I am back to 1724, which is, I'm really happy about it. My highest rating was 1723. And during these games, I went to 1724, 4 games in a row, lost 1, won 3. It was really great. And I won 2 of them with seconds on the clock. The first game that I won was 21 seconds, and this one was 7.8 seconds. And this is how it was for my games right now. And you can see that I've played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14. So almost 14 games. I lost 1, 2, I lost 3. So almost 11 games won. So this is really great statistics. We've done a great job here. And that was it. You could see, like before, I was losing a lot of my games. I was losing a lot of them. Why? Because I was losing on time. But then I started playing better, and I got really good, and I managed to get my rating 1724, and I'm a little bit closer to my goal, which is 1800. I'm 1724, so I need 76 points, and I'm at my goal. And after I reach my goal at 1800 for Rabbit, I'm just gonna go and increase my rating in what? In Blitz. Because as you can see right now, look at my Blitz rating. It's 1227, which is really bad, and I'm 1724 in Rabbit. So I'm really good at Rabbit. I'm really good at thinking and playing good moves. But when it comes to playing Blitz, I really suck, because I cannot play fast. This is my problem. I cannot play fast, and this is it. You can see that it's really bad. Sometimes I go for 1100. It's really, really bad. Because I cannot, but look at this. Yesterday I was focusing a little bit, and look at that, look at that. All of those wins and only one loss today. I'm trying to go back with blitz, trying to maintain like some kind of what do they call it? Some kind of harmony between the blitz and the rabbit. But I did not manage to do that, not yet. But this is it. So that was it for today's video. Just reviewing the games that I played and sharing them with you, and sharing you my very best moment of reaching 7824, my highest peak ever, and we are at 100,000 and 1,549 people. So we're really trying to get closer. I'm thinking if we reach 1800, we're going to be close to 50,000 global, and that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna see you in the next video. Bye.